Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about Saturn transiting the seventh house in a natal chart. Now, on average, Saturn will traverse a house for approximately 2.5 years. However, if your house size is a little bit larger than average, then Saturn will transit the house for a little bit of a longer duration. If your house size is a little bit smaller than average, then Saturn will be in there for a little bit of a smaller or shorter period. Well, anyway, people, the first thing I see when Saturn transits one's natal seventh house, it could be a time where you take a lot of, you view relationships in a more serious matter. This could be a time where you discard relationships that might be at least somewhat superficial, that are not significant. You could eradicate or eliminate those. And it could be a time, if you're a person that doesn't have a significant other and you're not involved in any strong or major relationship, this could be the time where you might feel this effect more and be more cognizant of this, and it really comes out to the forefront, so to speak. I'm having this transit right now, and it really, I'm starting to feel, I feel like I'm feeling the effects of not having a significant other, not in any strong relationship. This is a time where I am feeling this very heavy, to be very honest with you. And I could vouch. I'm sure a number of other people are feeling this in the same way, that are experiencing the same transit as I have, that I am, or have experienced it previously. Now, really, another thing too is that, keep in mind that the seventh house is about open adversaries and enemies, and this could be a time where you might be taking open adversaries, enemies, a little bit more seriously. Now, if you have somebody on YouTube, for example, that's a hater, that's jealous of you, that has some animosity toward you, maybe before, if you thought of this as something trivial or trite or something insignificant, this could be a time where you see this and take a more serious approach to this. Now, also, keep in mind that Saturn can be about structure and discipline. And as far as relationships may go, this could be a time of restructuring them. If there's relationships that are not working out, you may do some revamping and find the ones that are really, that have a more positive effect or impact on you. Now, this could also be a time too where Saturn is about restriction and limitation. You might feel some restriction and limitation in this time connected with relationships. And if you don't have that significant other, this is a time, as I stated before, it could really hit home, and you might experience some despondency and feel a little melancholy regarding this and that. And I could tell you, I sure am right now. Also, that the seventh house is connected with compromise and negotiation. So this could be a time where you put a little bit more seriousness into this. If this is a time, if there was a period where you felt you were somewhat intractable or intransigent with someone regarding some matter, and you were very adamant about something, you were not going to bend for anything. Maybe this is a time where you might say, well, maybe this is the time where I might have to put some serious effort into some compromise, into some negotiation. And you might be feeling like, kind of like the pride comes before fall theory you might be thinking of. So those are some things to look at as far as Saturn transiting your natal seventh house. And you look at the seventh house, Saturn as well could be about people in position of authority. It may be that during this time, maybe you meet maybe people, maybe a person that is connected with authority. It could be somebody. If you're looking for a significant other and you're unattached, maybe this is somebody that's an older person, maybe somebody that may be in business or in the government even. Possibly somebody that's very responsible and serious minded. And this could be a time where perhaps at the beginning of the transit or near the beginning, you might, if you're unattached, you might start the process maybe of having that significant other and taking a lot of responsibility with this. And as I stated before, this could be something where anything as far as superfluous relationships, maybe, or I should say superficial ones, or ones that you might seem frivolous, they might be discarded at this time. And the seventh house could be about partnerships, like say business partnership you might have, and this could be a time where you might put a little bit more serious effort into this. This is also, seventh house is about it could be connected with documents. So if there's some documents you haven't been looking at and you thought they were not significant or important, whether it's connected with a business or what have you, it may be time to go through them and look at them during this time, because they might be more important than you may realize. And if you have a legal matter that you've been procrastinating on, or something pertaining to a legal matter, this might be the time where it comes to the forefront that you have to do something more with it and put more serious attention connected with it. And anyway, it's also important to look at the aspects, if any, that are made from this transit to your natal planets and points, as this could impact the transit. Let's say, for example, that transiting Saturn is making a sextile or trine to your natal Saturn. Well, this could be auspicious for perhaps accomplishing things through a hard, laborious effort during this transit. And being the fact that it's in the seventh house, it could be matters connected in a business relationship, or with somebody with a significant other, such as collaborating on some project, for example. Now let's take another example. Let's say that transiting Saturn in your natal seventh house is making a square in conjunct or opposition to your natal Uranus. Well, this could indicate that perhaps responsibilities or just things that you have to do may conflict with your independence. And being in the seventh, it could be matters pertaining to say you're dealing with some legal battle in some isolated instances, or it could be something connected with a relationship that might be hindering you to some degree as far as the independence goes. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Saturn transiting the seventh house in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about Saturn transiting the eighth house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.